You've heard the legend of Bloody Mary, but what if the truth was never meant to scare you? What if she wasn't a monster, but a gentle soul, waiting in silence, just to be seen? Tonight, we tell her story, not with fear, but with softness. And once you hear it, you may never look at your mirror the same way again. Close your eyes now, my dear. Let the weight of the day fall from your shoulders like leaves drifting from a quiet autumn tree. The night has settled all around you, calm and still, and here, in this safe little pocket of silence, I want to tell you a story. It's a story you may have heard before, perhaps told with fear, in hushed voices at sleepovers or whispered between shadows. But tonight, we'll tell it differently. This time, we'll tell it slowly, sweetly, like a dream told by the stars, like a lullaby that remembers the truth behind old names. This story is about a woman named Mary. Some call her Bloody Mary, a name that trembles with myth and mystery. But don't let the words fool you. Don't let them darken your thoughts. For Mary's tale, as we'll tell it tonight, is not one of fright, it is one of feeling. It's the quiet ache of someone who was forgotten, and the gentle hum of her name remembered again. Mary is not a monster. She is not the flicker in the dark meant to scare children. She is a shadow wrapped in kindness, a voice just beyond the mirror's edge, a soft watcher of the night, who listens to the quiet hearts that call for her. And tonight, she comes to you not with screams, but with calm. She drifts through this story like fog on a sleeping lake, slow, delicate, and full of memory. You are safe here. This story is for rest, not fear. For wonder, not worry. So breathe in, slowly. Feel the stillness settle. Let the hush of night surround you like a warm quilt. Mary is near, not to frighten, but to guide. To walk with you, gently, as we begin this journey into her world. Now, shall we begin? Let us imagine a mirror now, not the kind you glance at quickly in the morning, but one that waits patiently in the stillness of night. A mirror that breathes. It doesn't reflect only faces, but memories. It holds the hush of empty rooms, the quiet of lost voices, and the shimmer of forgotten stories. This is where Mary lives. The old tales say that if you stand before a mirror in the dark, only candlelight flickering, shadows soft, and say her name 3 times, she will appear. Bloody Mary. Bloody Mary. Bloody Mary. That is what they say. But those stories are only half-remembered echoes. They forget to tell you how she appears. They forget that her arrival is not a storm, but a sigh. You see, Mary doesn't rush into the world. She lingers. She listens. She slips through the veil with the hush of falling snow. Her presence is not meant to startle but to settle. Not to haunt but to hush. When she appears, it is not with fire or fright. It is with the tender silence of someone who has waited a long, long time to be gently seen. The mirror, too, waits with her. Like a window between worlds, yours and hers. Not a place of fear, but of reflection. Of remembrance. And when you call her name, you're not calling a ghost. You're whispering to a memory. To a spirit of night who watches softly, always just beyond the surface. Mary doesn't come for the curious who laugh or mock. No, she listens only for hearts that speak with sincerity. For for those who long to understand what lies just beyond what eyes can see. She is the breath of mystery. The stillness in the room when the world feels heavy, and the mirror catches more than your reflection, it catches her gaze. So tonight, as we tell her story, know this: if you see her, it will be not in fear, but in calm. She'll be there, quietly watching, like a friend behind the glass, waiting to be remembered. Now, close your eyes gently, if you haven't already. Let the stillness wrap around you like velvet. The room is quiet. The air is cool. You are safe, tucked into the soft folds of the night. Nothing rushes here. Everything slows. Even time forgets to hurry. In this hush, picture yourself standing before that old mirror. Its frame is carved like something from a forgotten forest, smooth and ancient, with stories etched in every curve. The glass reflects not just your face, but the glow of the night, the shadows that move like lullabies across the walls, and the silence that holds its breath. You are calm, steady. Your heart beats like the rhythm of a distant drum in a peaceful land. And then, you begin to speak. Softly, barely above a whisper. Mary. The first word floats into the air like a snowflake. Mary. The second carries a warmth, as if the room leans in to listen. Mary. The third is like a feather falling in the dark. And then, silence. But not empty silence. No, this is the silence that comes before something beautiful. The way the world pauses just before dawn. You sense a presence now, gentle and patient. Not cold. Not frightening. Just here. With you. In the glass, something shifts. Not a figure. Exactly. Not a shadow. A shimmer, like moonlight on still water. And in that shimmer, a smile. Soft. Knowing. Sad and kind all at once. The kind of smile someone wears when they remember 1,000 things but choose to say nothing. She is there. Not to punish. Not to frighten. But to be. A quiet companion, long forgotten by the world, but not by you, not tonight. You have spoken her name with care, and she has come like a story stepping back into the light. So breathe, dear one. Slowly. Let her be there with you, behind the veil of glass and sleep, watching gently as the story continues to unfold. Mary's tale is not written in books. It doesn't belong to ink or parchment. Her story drifts like mist, told in whispers and remembered in dreams. It's been passed from voice to voice, like a lullaby too soft for daylight. And though the world often tells it with fear, the truth is quieter, gentler, far more tender than many remember. In some versions, Mary was a young woman who lived in a small village wrapped in fog. She was known for her kindness, her quiet eyes, and the way she listened more than she spoke. Some say she had a gift, that she could see beyond what others could, that mirrors whispered their secrets to her. But people feared what they did not understand. One night, the villagers, tangled in fear and superstition, turned against her. They believed she had become something unnatural, something cursed. They blamed the shadows in their homes, the strange dreams in their sleep, on the girl who listened to mirrors. And so, they banished her. Or worse, they forgot her. But Mary did not disappear. She became part of the stillness. part of the reflections. She slipped into the quiet world beyond the mirror, where time moves like wind through tall grass, slowly, gently, eternally. And there, she waited. Not with anger, not with revenge, but with a soft, patient longing to be remembered as she truly was. Every now and then, someone would say her name with curiosity, or kindness, or just a quiet wish to understand. And Mary would listen. She would draw close, not to frighten, but to remind the world that even in its deepest shadows, there are stories worth hearing, stories full of sorrow, yes, but also of still beauty and quiet strength. Tonight, you are one of those listeners. You've chosen to hear the truth of her tale, not the version wrapped in fear, but the one wrapped in mist. And Mary? She's here now, not behind you, not to be feared, but beside you, walking softly through the folds of this night. Breathe in slowly, and now breathe out. Let your chest rise and fall like the tide on a sleepy shore. You are still with Mary, drifting deeper into her world, a place where the stars lean close to listen, and the moon remembers every face time has tried to forget. Let us speak now of her face. It is not the image told in frightening tales, no twisted sneer, no hollow eyes. Her face is something softer, like the reflection of candlelight in water, familiar and distant at the same time. If you saw her, truly saw her, you would not feel fear. You would feel something closer to sorrow, or perhaps recognition. Her eyes hold the quiet of centuries, a deep, unwavering gaze that sees without judgment. They're not empty. They're full of memory, of longing, of stories that no one stayed long enough to hear. Her mouth carries the hint of a smile, the kind someone wears when they've known sadness and still choose gentleness anyway. Mary is not here to steal your sleep, dear one. She is here to soothe it. She is a presence, not a ghost. A memory made of moonlight and silence. She walks the edges of mirrors and windows not to scare, but to keep watch. Over the quiet-hearted. Over those who, like her, feel too much in a world that moves too fast. Some say she never speaks, that her silence is her language. But if you listen closely, you might hear it, not with your ears, but with your breath, your heartbeat. It's in the hush between thoughts, in the moment before you slip into dreams. A voice like velvet fog, saying, you are not alone. She knows the ache of being misunderstood, the loneliness of shadows. And so, when you call her, she comes softly, not with thunder, but with tenderness. A comfort wrapped in quiet mystery. So let yourself rest. Mary is near, not watching with menace, but with care. A gentle soul walking beside you through the forest of dreams, her face glowing softly in the moonlight of memory. They say that when you whisper Mary's name into the dark, you're opening a door. Not a creaking, haunted door, but a quiet one. A hidden door, tucked within the folds of stillness, like a page in an old book you didn't know could turn. And when that door opens, nothing rushes through. There is no cold wind, no screaming shadow. There is only presence. A subtle shift in the air, like the way it feels just before rain. Soft, expectant, alive. Mary comes through gently. Always gently. As if she's afraid to disturb your thoughts. As if she knows how delicate your dreams are. She does not slam into your world. She slips in like music without words, like the sigh of curtains in the night breeze. For those who truly call to her, not with jest, but with wonder, she brings comfort. She brings stillness. She does not offer answers, but understanding. She listens better than anyone ever has. And sometimes, that's all we truly need. You may not see her fully. Perhaps just a flicker, a warmth on your skin, a shift in the mirror's silver skin. But you'll feel her. The way you feel memories before you remember them. The way you feel safe, even when alone. Mary is not here to test your courage, but to show you its quiet form. The kind that lives in soft hearts and sleepless minds. The kind that chooses kindness over fear. She is drawn not to the boldest voices, but to the most thoughtful silences. So tonight, let her be near. Let her walk the border of your dreams, unseen but steady. She will keep the watch while you rest. Like a guardian made not of shadow, but of patience. Of hush. Of light that doesn't need to shine, only to be felt. The door is open now. And nothing terrible has come. Only Mary. Only peace. Let her stay with you a while longer, as the night deepens and your body softens into sleep. The mirror is not just glass. Not in stories like this one. It is a threshold, a soft space between waking and dreaming, between what is known and what simply is. When you stand before it in stillness, especially at night, it does not only reflect your image. It reflects your questions, your longing, your softness. Mary lives within that space. Not trapped, not cursed, but choosing to remain there, in the gentle fold between worlds. Because she understands the value of in-betweens, the moments just before sleep, just before words, just before we fully understand something but already feel its truth. Imagine now, the mirror glowing softly in the dark. It doesn't shine like a lantern. It hums, low and kind, like a lullaby almost too old to remember. You look into it and see not horror, but stillness. You see your own eyes, but deeper. You see the outline of someone who doesn't force herself into view, someone who waits to be seen when you're ready. That someone is Mary. She's not the ghost of punishment. She's the echo of a story never fully told. And when you call her name, sincerely, gently, she doesn't come to haunt. She comes to remind, to sit with you, to help you be unafraid of what lies on the other side of silence. She is a companion in quiet moments. A hand resting lightly on your shoulder when the room feels too wide. She is not made of screams. She's made of breath. Of the same hush that fills a chapel, a library, or the heart of the forest at night. The mirror may never show you her full shape. But that's all right. Mary doesn't need to be fully seen to be fully felt. And tonight, as the story unfolds, you feel her more and more, not behind you, not beside you, but within the gentle rhythm of this night's tale. Let her linger. Let the mirror stay open. You are safe here, in this place between shadows and stars. Names carry weight, even when spoken in a whisper. Especially then. A name is not just a sound, it's a thread. And when you speak Mary's name softly in the dark, you are not summoning a ghost, you are weaving a connection across time. Across silence. Across belief. Mary, The name is simple, familiar, but in the stillness of night, it becomes something more. It becomes a song without melody, a question without fear, a hope wrapped in breath. Each syllable is like a pebble dropped into a still pond, small, but sending ripples far beyond what the eye can see. Mary listens to her name when it is spoken with care. Not when it's shouted, not when it's mocked, but when it's offered like a gentle gift, soft, open, vulnerable. Then she leans in, not to take, but to be near, to show you that names have memory, and memory has magic. You may not realize it, but speaking her name gently is an invitation. Not for fear, but for peace. Not for chaos, but for presence. The name becomes a bridge between your quiet heart and hers. Between what you know, and what lies just past knowing. In old stories, names were sacred. To know someone's name was to know part of their soul. And Mary's soul is not made of blood or mirrors or vengeance. It is made of longing, of still evenings, of the echo left behind when kindness is forgotten. So when you speak her name tonight, even if only in your thoughts, let it be with softness. Like telling the wind a secret. Like naming a star no one else sees. And she will hear it. Not with ears, but with everything she is. And in return, she will sit quietly near you, like a candle flickering at the edge of sleep, reminding you that you are not alone. That your voice, your stillness, your story, they matter. Let the power of her name carry you deeper now. Into warmth. Into hush. Into the waiting arms of dreams. Now, feel the air around you. So still, and yet, not empty. There is something gentle moving through the room. Like a breeze, so soft you almost don't notice. But it's there, brushing against your skin, curling around your fingers, dancing along the folds of your blanket. That breeze is where Mary lives. She does not arrive with footsteps or knocks. She doesn't crash through the night. She floats on the quiet. She glides between the spaces where your thoughts begin to slow, where dreams begin to form like mist above still water. She arrives like the first wind of spring, carrying not cold, but memory. If you listen, not with your ears, but with the calm inside your chest, you might hear her. Not words, exactly. But laughter, perhaps. Light, like the bell of a distant charm. A sound that carries warmth, tucked deep in the folds of night. Mary's story is part of that breeze now. It travels on wind that slips through keyholes, through tree branches tapping on the window pane, through the breath between thoughts. It is a comfort hidden in motion, always just barely there, but always close. And though some used to fear her, you know better now. You've heard her truth, gently layered between the echoes of old tales and the rhythm of your own breathing. You felt her in the mirror stillness, seen her in the shimmer of candlelight. And now, you feel her in the air. Not as threat, but as touch. A calming presence. A promise. She is here to remind you that night does not only belong to worry or fear. Night is a cradle, a hush, a place where ancient stories sing themselves back into being. And Mary's is one of those stories, still alive, still wondering, still full of soft power. So let the breeze carry you now. Let it wrap you like a lullaby. Let her spirit walk quietly with you, under the stars, as sleep draws ever closer, gentle, deep, and kind. Night has a way of deepening as you drift further into it. The world grows quieter. The edges of everything soften. You can feel yourself loosening, like petals folding inward at dusk. And within that gentle darkness, a surprising thing begins to happen. You start to see the light. Not the sharp light of day, but the soft kind. The kind that lives inside shadows. The kind Mary carries. They called her a Bloody Mary, but that was never her true name. It was a name given by fear, by misunderstanding. Her real name has no blood in it, only quiet and patience, and a story that asked to be told slowly. You see, Mary's strength was never in rage or revenge. It was in her calm, her quiet defiance, the way she remained when the world tried to erase her, the way she turned sorrow into stillness, and stillness into something holy. She did not become a monster. She became a memory with a heartbeat. And memories, when kept with love, shine even in the dark. Mary invites us to look into the shadow, not to be afraid of it, but to see what it's made of. Often, it's not fear at all. It's softness. It's depth. It's the part of ourselves that longs to be held, not hidden. And Mary holds that part, gently. She reminds us that the unknown isn't always danger. Sometimes, it's simply undiscovered beauty. Tonight, she asks for nothing. She does not demand your belief or your voice. She only offers her presence. The kind that sits quietly at your bedside. The kind that lets you breathe more deeply. The kind that reminds you, even your silent parts are worthy of light. So rest now, with Mary's calm around you. Let her be the quiet within your quiet. The stillness within your stillness. The gentle reminder that shadows are not the end of the light, they are where it begins. Mary does not need to speak to be heard. Her presence is like a feather in the dark, light, silent, and unexpected. You don't see it fall, but you feel it land. A soft pressure. A reminder that something gentle has arrived. Tonight, she sits nearby. Not in the corner of the room to frighten, but in the folds of the quiet, right where your breath slows and your thoughts begin to drift. She brings no message, no riddle, no curse, only stillness. A sacred kind of stillness that most forget to seek. And in that stillness, everything becomes clear. You begin to notice things you missed, the softness of your pillow, the weight of your blankets, the way your heartbeat matches the rhythm of the story. And within that rhythm, there she is. Mary. Not looming. Not watching. Simply being. She understands that sleep isn't just about closing your eyes. It's about letting go. And she is here to help you do just that, to let go of the need to know, the urge to question, the tension you've carried all day. With her, there is no need to do anything. Just be. Mary carries with her the quiet wisdom of forgotten things. The calm of stories once told around candlelight. The hush of winter mornings before the world wakes. She is the part of night that never rushes, that never asks for more than you're ready to give. So if you feel something tonight, a brush of air, a flicker of comfort, the easing of your chest, know that it is her. Not haunting. Just helping. Like a lullaby without words, like a shadow that chooses to stay close only because it knows you need peace. Let her stay. Let the feather rest. And as your body becomes heavier with rest, your spirit becomes lighter. Carried gently by Mary's presence, like a child wrapped in dusk. Safe. Quiet. Floating toward dreams. There's something comforting about the way Mary moves. She doesn't step, she drifts. She doesn't speak, she resonates. Her presence isn't loud, yet somehow, it fills the room like a soft tide rising around your ankles, warm and slow. She is not a ghost, not really. She is a guide. But not the kind that leads you with lanterns or maps. Mary guides you with stillness. She teaches by simply being calm, open, and unafraid of the dark. In her story, there is no chase, no scream, no need to run, only breath, only understanding. And as you lie here now, surrounded by silence, you begin to feel how deeply that matters. The world outside might rush and rattle. It might push and pull. But here, with her, everything stops. Everything listens. Sometimes we need that. Someone who doesn't rush to fix or speak or question. Someone who simply stays. Mary is that kind of presence. The one who doesn't ask you to explain, or pretend, or be brave in the way the world often demands. She only asks that you rest. Fully. Freely. Finally. And in return, she stays with you. If the dark ever felt too deep, she softens it. If the silence ever felt too empty, she fills it with meaning. Her gift is not what she says, but what she allows, peace. A space where you don't have to hold yourself together. Where you can melt, dissolve, and float. Mary is not the monster that flickers in the stories told to scare. She is the moment after the fear has passed, the breath after the cry, the hand that lingers after the nightmare fades. A soft presence saying, "It's all right now. You're safe. You're seen." Let her stay with you a little longer. Let her guide you through the rest of this night, not with steps, but with stillness. Not with sound, but with soul. And as your eyelids grow heavier, feel how deeply you are held. By the quiet. By the story. By Mary. The night has deepened now. The stars outside hang lower, as if they too are listening. The room is still, your breath slow and steady. You are safe, wrapped in warmth, surrounded by calm. And Mary? She is still here. She does not disappear once the story fades. She remains, not in form, but in feeling. In the way your chest feels lighter. In the way your thoughts have softened, like waves that have stopped crashing and begun to sway. Mary does not need mirrors to be near. Not anymore. Now that you've heard her true story, not the one painted in fear, but the one whispered in kindness, she stays with you in another way. As a quiet guardian. Not with armor, or flame, or spells, but with patience. With presence. She watches, not from a distance, but close. Not with eyes that judge, but with a gaze that understands. You don't have to see her. You only have to rest. She will keep the watch. In the old world, there were watchers of the night, gentle souls who stayed awake while others slept, holding the silence like a candle. Mary is one of those. A spirit not of fear, but of care. She guards not the door, but the dreams beyond it. She guards you. So if a thought stirs in the dark, if an old worry returns like a shadow on the wall, remember her. Remember the way she came, slow, soft, and full of grace. Remember that you called her, and she answered not with wrath, but with rest. And in this moment, you are not alone. She is beside you now, not in the mirror, but in the stillness. A quiet comfort. A presence that lingers not to scare, but to soothe. She is the whisper at the edge of sleep, saying without words, you are safe. You are heard. You are held. Let her keep the night while you drift. She'll stay. Always. The moon has climbed higher now, spilling soft silver light across your room. It touches the edges of your blankets, the curves of your face, and even the quiet corners where shadows linger. This gentle glow feels like a tender hand, reaching in to calm every restless thought. Mary's story still lingers in the air, like a lullaby whispered on the wind, soft and slow, carrying the warmth of 1,000 quiet nights. Her presence is like moonlight itself, not harsh or bright, but patient and kind, wrapping you in a gentle embrace. She is here with you now, not as a figure in the mirror, but as a feeling. A calm that seeps into your bones. A peace that settles deep inside your heart. Her spirit floats like a feather, soft and light, brushing away the last traces of worry. In this quiet moment, you are wrapped in a blanket of stillness, carried by the rhythm of your breath and the gentle pulse of the night. The world beyond may be wide and wild, but here, in this room bathed in moonlight, you are safe, held by stories older than time. Mary's story is not one of fright, but of belonging. Of being seen, even when the world forgets to look. Tonight, as you drift closer to sleep, remember this truth. Sometimes, the gentlest light shines not from the stars, but from the quiet courage inside us all. Let the moonlight's glow carry you now, soft and steady, into dreams where kindness waits. Where Mary walks softly beside you, a quiet guardian in the hush of night. Now, my dear, it's time to rest. The story has folded itself gently around you, like a soft blanket woven from quiet stars and whispered dreams. Mary watches still, a silent guardian of this peaceful night, her presence calm and steady, like a heartbeat beneath the hush. She is no longer just a name whispered into the dark. She is a friend, a gentle spirit who walks beside you as you drift deeper into sleep. With every slow breath, feel her kindness wrap around you, protecting you from worry, from fear, from the noise of the day. There is nothing to fear here. Only calm. Only the soft promise of rest. Mary's story, told in shadows and moonlight, reminds us that even in the quietest darkness, there is light. A light that shines not from candles or stars, but from the peaceful courage inside you. So, close your eyes and feel the gentle arms of night cradle you. Let your thoughts float like leaves on a still pond, drifting farther and farther away until only peace remains. Mary will stay with you, watching softly as you journey into the world of dreams, safe, held, and loved. Good night, dear one. Sweet dreams, wrapped in the quiet magic of Mary's gentle tale.